Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the UKG podcast. As usual, get involved. And we are going to have a discussion today because there is crisis at United. There is crisis at United. A player is out for 10 weeks. Patrick Dorgu is out for 10 weeks, as well as some players are not coming back. Some players are being moved out of the club. So we are going to go all through those news, those updates. But the major shocking news is Patrick Dorgu is out. We are going to discuss what happened, the impact of him not being available, as well as the options that are available. So, yeah, welcome to the UKG podcast. My name is Simon Insky, aka Simon, or Simon, aka Simon Insky. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's been a good day. Still enjoying the weekend win. It's Tuesday, I know, but still enjoying, still living it, still loving it, still buzzing. It's good to see you guys. Always look forward to coming online to interact with you. And let's get the show started. There's no need to wait. So, some major breaking news came through this afternoon, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, at all. Because Patrick Dorgu is out for 10 weeks, guys. Ballon Dorgu is out. And it's the sort of thing that probably United are jinx. Probably United are jinx. Because when a player starts getting into form, they get injured. It has happened a lot this season. Last season as well. Sorry. Dogu had started now becoming a maverick, becoming a star of the team, becoming dependable. His athleticism was good. His tackling, his goal scoring abilities were unleashed. We can say Ballon Dogu could be the next Gareth Bale, because Gareth Bale started out as a left back, then played as a left winger, and he was among the best left wingers in the world at his time. So Patrick Dorgu got an injury during the Arsenal game, a hamstring injury, and the club speculate or see that Dorgu will be out for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, guys. So we are going to see Ballon Dorgu again probably in mid-April there, late April. If all goes well, they are still going to do scans. They are still going to check him out, see how he's doing, and probably he'll be back much earlier, let's say in March. But let me know in the comment section, is Dorgu a big miss or not? Are United okay, especially with the formation changes? We know that under Amorim, Dorgu was a big part of his wing back roles. He was among one of the wing backs that he was using. Dorgu, we've seen him play at right wing, left wing, and his best performances have come while he's playing or when he's playing as a winger. During Newcastle game, or in the Newcastle game, he played as a right winger and he scored a goal. The last two games he's played as a left winger, he scored goals. He's become dependable. He's become one of the key players, star players in the team. And now Carrick has been using him. He's been part of Carrick's big setup in terms of attacking, because he bombs forward, he's athletic, he can go forward and score, and we saw it. We've seen it in 2 games so far. So we are yet to understand whether the club will look for options in the left wing, but United still have options to play there. Cunha can play in the left wing. We've seen Mbumo play out there sometimes, Ahmad sometimes, but Mbumo and Ahmad playing as left wingers, they really don't give the output we see whenever they are playing off the right, coming in the right, cutting in, crossing or shooting. It's different. It's different having Mbumo and Ahmad on the left. We also have Mason Mount. We've seen at times he plays there on the left. And one of the players that probably we would like to see coming in is like Shea Lacy, or one of the academy wingers coming in and getting opportunities. It's something that, of course, it's not good news. We hope that Dorgu gets well soon. I hope that Dorgu recovers as soon as possible. But this is an opportunity to get some of the academy players on the bench, get a few minutes here and there. The fixtures that are coming up, we can say they are winnable games, but knowing how United are, we know United are not quite consistent when it comes to much smaller teams, with all due respect with the name smaller. So Dogu being out, it's a big blow. As I was saying, we've seen it before with other players. They get starting into their groove, into their form, they get injured. It happened to Sheshko. You remember Sheshko was starting to score goals, then he got injured. Cunha as well this season. He started to show the form he's showing currently, the sort of input to the team, the attacking areas. And he got injured. By the time he was coming back, he was finding his feet. He was not quite good. Some of our United fans started saying he's a flop. We shouldn't have bought Cunha, and he just came from injury. Well, in terms of the wing back roles, we know at least the full back roles. We know at least Mazraoui is back. We have options that can play there. But now, when it comes to winger, Dogu has been a big part of Carrick. Probably Carrick wanted to use him in those two games, or probably Carrick wanted just to have him playing there permanently. We don't know what Carrick is planning after that injury news, because it's a big blow. Honestly, it's a big blow. And I feel for Dogu. Because he had started becoming a good player, key player. We wrote him off. As United fans, we wrote him off, and he proved us wrong. He came back. Yeah, as Amorim said, he was lacking a bit of confidence on the ball, and we could see it. As much as some fans complained that Amorim shouldn't have said that in a press conference, but we could see it. We could see that Dogu was not good at times on the ball. His crossing was not good. Some of the things he needs to work on is his crossing, his decision in the final third. And finally, now with Carrick, we've seen the best out of him because he's played as a wing. And I believe moving forward, Patrick Dorgu should be played as a winger. We shouldn't see Patrick Dorgu being played. And as a fullback, to be honest. So yeah, Cunha can play that position. But now United need to make a decision whether to go to the market, get a loan transfer, because the window is in the final days. We are going to have a transfer deadline day podcast, probably a much longer one, just to go through the transfers that are coming through. But it seems United are not going to delve into the market, because we know United don't want to go for temporary fixes. They want to go for their long-term targets. They would rather wait for the summer. And to me, it's a question of whether the club should actually go out and look for a loan deal. Yeah, the pool of left wingers is quite small. It's quite small. There are not left wingers that are available that are not playing as much that could come to the club for a short-term deal. Yet again, if we look at it on the other hand, considering that it's a World Cup year, some players will be willing to come to United and play on that wing, but they will still play second fiddle to Cunha. Cunha has proven that he should start games now. Mbumo has also proven he should start games now. We don't know what Carrick's plan when it comes to Cunha, Mbumo, Ahmad, and Sheshko, because he preferred Mbumo as a false nine ahead of Sheshko. So what happens now? Cunha plays, Mbumo plays, Ahmad plays. Sheshko didn't look happy the last two games when he came on, but he still contributed. Like the third Manchester United goal versus Arsenal, Sheshko had a big part to play in it. He chested down the ball. He made the run to pull Arsenal defenders away, and Cunha got that chance to take the shot at goal. So Sheshko is also a big part. It's also a big part. So yeah, it's a tough situation, not expected, because if now Cunha gets injured, who plays on the left wing? We've seen Ahmad Mbumo play there. It's not their best position. It's not their best position. United in the summer let go of all of our wingers, to be honest. Anthony left, Rashford left, Garnacho left. Rashford and Garnacho were playing on the left wing. Sancho also left. He was also playing as a left winger, and now United are thin of options. Yes, it's 1 week. It's one game per week, but at the end of the day, the club has to make plans. The club has to be cautious because there are weeks that United will play midweek games, and in case Cunha gets injured, God forbid, or he needs a rest, who comes to play there? We know Mount is not as reliable. Mount is is quite fragile. He gets injured. So I think United should go for a short-term, long deal, if possible. If there was a long-term target, probably we would have been more comfortable. For example, if Semenyo came to the club, then that wouldn't have been a headache. So the United team is not well balanced, if we are honest. Half of the team, half of the 25, 28 registered Premier League players are defenders. Sorry, not defenders, defensive players. That is goalkeepers, defenders, CDMs. That's how unbalanced the team is. At the end of the day, yes, we've won the last 2 games, but when it comes to squad options, they are not good enough regardless of the formation. Regardless of it's 3 at the back, 4-3-2-1, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. United still lack options because you look at the midfield now, we only have Ugarte who can play a CDM, yes. Looking at other players, we'll have to go to the academy or rely on someone like Bruno dropping deep, Mount going to 10, because we've seen Mount does not play well as a box-to-box. He plays better when he's further up ahead, like a number 10. The Fletcher twins, are they really reliable? We are yet to see. Probably when they came on and Amorim, it wasn't a good position for them. They didn't get that freedom to express themselves as they would under Carrick. We've seen every player express themselves under Carrick, and that's a big change. That's a big change. So, yeah, let me know what you think of that Patrick Dorgu injury. Should United go to the market and get a winger? Are we going to regret missing out on Semenyo? Because Semenyo would have been a huge deal if he came to United and was playing on that left wing. But at the same time, in other positions, United still need options. Oh, Toby Talks. Thanks. Big up. Been watching you for a while. Good job, brother. Thank you. Big up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm lost for words. I appreciate that. Then you go on saying, if possible, maybe we can do a weekly show together talking about football and Manchester United. I use the same handles on TikTok too. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's get in touch on TikTok DM. Yeah, I'm up for a show. I always like getting involved in United chats, United talks. I like going into podcasts as well. As much as I'm not a guest, I like also commenting. So yeah, sure. I'm up for it, Toby. I'm up for it. And thanks for the compliment, man. Thanks a lot. Big up. Yeah. Boaz on TikTok is saying Dogu out, Cunha is available. Yeah. That's good. It's good, at least we have that option of Cunha. But we've seen Cunha playing well as a 10 rather than as a winger. Because a winger is required to run up and down the pitch. A winger is required to defend. Cunha can't do that. From time to time, he goes deep to defend. He drops deep, that is, to defend. But his best attributes are when we need him to bomb forward with the ball, to take the ball, carry the ball towards goal, shoot and score, or create opportunities. A winger requires hard work. It requires a lot of hard work. And I like Carrick's setup, because you look at the left side, it's been sorted for a very long time under Eric Ten Hag, and more so under Amorim. Our strongest side has been the right side because of Ahmad and Mbumo. Mbumo was left to do most of the attacking bits. Ahmad is good at defending as much as he's good at attacking. Now, Carrick coming in, changing the formation and allowing players to express themselves using their key talents, key attributes, has worked on the left because Luke Shaw is good in terms of defending, in terms of attacking, he's also good. Dorgu is very athletic. He's one of the most athletic players in the world, if not the Premier League. He can run 90 minutes without getting tired. I rarely see Patrick Dorgu getting tired. He's that kind of player. So Cunha coming in on the left, it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to play Cunha there. We expect him to play as a left winger. But now my worry comes in when it comes to the defensive aspect of the game. You saw Arsenal trying to exploit United's right wing because of Dalot. They know that Dalot is the weak link. Dalot is erratic when it comes to defending. Ahmad also likes to run forward. He likes to bomb forward, provide that attacking support, take a chance at goal. So Arsenal decided, let's attack on their left side. That's United's right side. Not so much on Dogu's side, Luke Shaw's side. You look at City's game, it was the same. Doku was the busiest. Semenyo had nothing to show for that game. Semenyo was incognito the entire game. Even when Ryan Chaki came on in the City game, Dogu and Luke Shaw were able to handle him. They were able to handle him comfortably. So my worry is when Cunha comes in, most of the time we see him. In fact, we know that BBC had put out a stat that Cunha is the one who walks a lot in the Premier League, a very weird statistic. So if you have someone like that, then the coach, Carrick, better tell him, we need you to start defending. As much as you attack, you start defending. But when you do that, we look at it logically. When you ask an attacking player to defend a lot, we complained about Bruno being too deep. He was not creating opportunities up top as much as he does. So when you have Cunha now defending more, then you lose his attacking output. The slight advantage of having that injury right now is United won't play a big team for some time, won't play a big club for some time. United are going to play against the likes of Fulham, who will now sit off, who will back down, who will let United play ball. In those instances, Cunha will have a good game because he's not required to defend a lot. But now those teams where now we might struggle a bit is when it comes to now counter attacking. The good thing I've seen with Cunha is yes, he can run back, tackle, do all those things, prevent the counter. So the slight advantage United have is the teams that United are playing next don't really attack a lot, other than I think Tottenham, who's after Fulham. They will allow United to have more of the ball. So Cunha can be able to take the ball, dribble, shoot, whatever he does best. But we also need the club to be cautious, as I've said. Cunha is the only left wing option we have, other than the academy players. I don't trust Mount to play there quite well because Mount is better playing as a 10. Mount is better playing as a 10. So, Boaz, I agree with you. Cunha is there, he can play there. But the question is, if Cunha gets, like right now, the FA are looking at his words during the celebration. Tomorrow is the day we'll know whether, I'm not sure whether they've, let me search whether the Cunha stuff has come up. Because Cunha, there are Arsenal fans who are pushing and saying that he should be fined and given a match ban because of what he said after scoring. And on Wednesdays is when the FA usually come out with deliberations, with decisions on disciplinary cases like red cards, off the ball incidences and all that. So tomorrow I think is the day we will know whether Cunha will play the next game. So just assume Cunha is not available. Who's there next? So those are the things I'm thinking of. Quite often as United fans, we've been thinking of here and now. We don't think about the future. And United have been so bad, United have been so poor, such that we start cherry picking why players are not playing. You look at Arsenal, you look at City, you look at Liverpool. Chelsea, they have good options off the bench. I mentioned United have an unbalanced squad. So you look at the Arsenal game, the players who are coming in as subs, as much as United were loving it that Victor Gyökeres was coming on, still a good squad option. Still a very, very good squad option, because other than Mason Mount, I don't see anyone else playing on that wing. We'd have now to ask one of the right wingers to play there in case there is an injury, suspension, or we need to rest the players. Yeah. Wayne, you're asking, what about Mbumo plays on the left and starts Sheshko? Yeah, I mentioned and said Mbumo playing on the left, we don't quite see the best of him compared to when he plays on the right. It's an option, yes, it's doable, it's a possibility. But right now, United are in a situation where every game is a final. If United want to make it to Champions League, they want to keep their top 4 place, they need to win every game. Every game is a final. And I like the fact that United, the last 2 games, have been treating each game as a final. They've been playing as if there is a cup on the line. And who knows? Who knows? We've seen titles being won from 12-point differences. United did lose to City in the EPL title to City, being 10 points ahead, 11 points ahead. It took a couple of draws, a couple of losses, and then it came down to goal difference. So this is a freakish season, guys. This is a very, very freakish season. Anything can happen. Anything could happen. Chelsea and Liverpool can also have a run, and you find themselves in the top. They find themselves in the top 3, top 4, top 2. Arsenal, we've seen them. They are worried. You looked at the reaction of their players after that United game. They are worried. They looked like, not this again. It's like that feeling, ooh, not again, not again. So they go to Leeds. Leeds is not an easy place. Elland Road is not an easy place. Of course, I expect Arsenal to win. I'm sure they are going to win. But how many times have we seen Arsenal, when they have Man City breathing down their necks, they implode, they crumble. And as I've mentioned, United have lost the lead with 10 points, 11 points. I remember one of the games that hurt me the most was the 4-4 draw, 4-4 draw against Everton. I remember Fellaini scoring the equalizer. It was a crazy game under Sir Alex Ferguson. And you remember that Aguero goal. And then City won the title on goal difference. So anything can happen. Yes, Arsenal are the most consistent. They've been on form. We haven't really seen them have a dip in form. Probably this is the time they're having that dip in form. Furthermore, being in all those competitions, you really need to get your squad rotation on point. On point, because if we are honest, Arsenal are going to play in latter stages of every competition. They are in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. They're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, if I'm not wrong. Champions League, it's going to the elimination phase. Premier League, we know that when it comes to March, April, that's where the pressure really cranks up. So if they don't get their rotations right, because the teams they are going to face in elimination stages of the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, as well as Champions League, they won't be easy teams. And they'll be playing, 3 games a week? Yes, they have all their squad players back, but if you don't get your rotation right, everything starts crumbling. Everything starts crumbling. So Wayne, I agree with you in terms of it's an option to play Mbeumo on the left, but should we expect him to play the same way he plays on the right? Ture, good to see you. Big up, big up. You're saying nothing will be done to Cunha. He said nothing bad. He just said we are the biggest. Well, according to many people, including myself, I heard he used the F word. He used the F word. Yeah. Ngoma, you're asking Mount. Mount can't play there. He can't play on the left. He can't play on the left. We've seen him play on the left. But to me, Mount is more efficient when it comes to him playing as a 10. So yes, we can't play him there. We should play him there, and we hope that he doesn't get injured because we know Mount plays like 60 minutes, then we don't see him for another 3-4 weeks, and that's my worry. My worry is not who's going to start. My worry is what happens when there is an incident like injury, suspension, someone is tired. There can be also a knock. There can be a knock in the game. The player won't continue. What happens next? So it's an opportunity for United either to delve into the market for a short-term loan deal, or, as we've been saying under Amorim, I haven't seen it so much under Fletcher and Carrick, to give some of the academy players that game time. Like Shea Lacey, I'm not sure whether he can play on the left, but he can come in. We have good academy options that can come in and play on that side. So my worry is, in case there is an incident, a bad incident, how should United cover it? Because every game before United is a final. Every game is a final. Every game is an absolute final. The Monk Doll, hey, big up, good to see you. Wild thought, the other option is Luke Shaw and play Mazraoui at left back. True. Let me think about it a bit. As I said about attacking players, when you ask an attacking player to be more defensive, you lose that aspect of attacking. When you ask a defensive player to attack, you lose more of that defense. And naturally, a defender is inclined to defend. So they will be deeper. But yeah, Luke Shaw is a good option. He can play there. But does he have the legs to run up and down? That's the other question. Does he have the legs to run up and down? Because the teams we are going to face will sit deep and they will play on the counter. Trust me, Fulham, that's how they are going to set up. Fulham are going to set up for the counter because they've seen the game versus City, the game versus Arsenal, and they will say we can't afford to attack because if we attack, United will hit us on the break. They will be very compact. United scored 2 long-range goals. So they will sit deep. They will be compact. They will try as much as possible. Not to concede a goal, not to concede a shot on target. United had 3 shots on target versus Arsenal and scored all 3. So Luke Shaw is a good option, but my worry is the next games that are coming up, they are really different tactically. They are very different tactically. Very, very different. Monk Doll, also you add and say we have so many defenders and most of them can't play in those positions. That's very, very true. Wayne, you're saying this club can't buy a winger. We are really doomed. Yeah. However, if we are honest, we've been making noise about Ineos, but they have a plan. Ineos seem to have a plan. I'm not saying that they are the best. They've done a good job in every department. No, they've failed in a couple of things like hiring, sacking managers, not making a decision, not supporting managers, hiring a director of football, sacking him after 5 months, after paying a lot of money. They pay him then to sack him. So Ineos have a plan. To me, the plan is don't do panic buys because United have been having panic buys. They've been having panic buys. From Ibrahimovic, Cavani, Falcao. Casemiro was also a panic buy. You look at the players United have bought, most of them are panic buys and they end up not being good for the club. Eriksen, United missed out on midfielders. They went for Christian Eriksen. So I'm willing to see that patience. And if we can get players like Lamans, like Dorgu, like Aiden Heaven, Len Yoro, then I'm okay with it. Because you look at Maguire is leaving, and whenever Maguire plays, United don't lose. If you've noticed that. Maguire has been a key figure in that team. So if their strategy is we wait till summer to buy the players we want, well and fine. But they have to have their project presentation ready, the money ready to go for players. Because, for example, Elliot Anderson, there will be huge competition for Elliot Anderson. And if United don't make to UCL, it will be very difficult to convince such kind of players to come to United because Elliot Anderson looks like he'll go to City. They need a replacement for Rodri. But if I was a player like Anderson, I just tell him, if I was the position that is to advise Anderson, I'll tell him, go to United. You are guaranteed to start. You're guaranteed to play, and you'll be part of a good project that's coming up. But if you go to City, well, we've seen City what they do. They'll buy you, play 1 or 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and then if you start having poor performances, they'll sign someone to replace you and they'll sell you. That's how City do it. Savinho came in, didn't perform. Chucky has come on. Barely 6 months later, they've replaced Chucky with Semenyo. So that's how City operate. You remember that wing? They've had Mahrez. They've had a couple of players on that wing. If you don't perform, you're sold. Alvarez came on, didn't perform well. So they replaced him, a sub. And Alvarez was a replacement for who? Jesus. So when you go to a club like United, you're guaranteed you're going to play. Considering that Ugarte and Casemiro are leaving, you are guaranteed to play. So why should you choose a team that you'll sit on the bench? Yeah. When you're saying, I think recalling Sancho as our only option. Yeah, I don't want such kind of players back. I've seen talks of Mason Greenwood. United want to execute the buyback option to have him back, but well, it's a tricky one because we know how that situation went out. To me, I've had a lot of guys come to me and call me the R word because of saying that if a player, what a player does off the pitch should not affect what he does on the pitch at all. Furthermore, we only got to see what was shared with us online. We were not there with them. Mason Greenwood is still with his wife, his girlfriend, and they have 2 kids now. And we are still judging him. The victim has forgiven him, but we haven't. They've gone on to have their own family. So I've seen a lot of talk like, we shouldn't bring that R guy to the club. For me, I'm saying it's football. At the end of the day, it's football. So to me, I don't really care what players do off the pitch because 90% of the time we don't know what they do unless they share online. Like right now, I'm not sure what you guys are doing at home unless you share a video, a photo with me of what you are doing. Probably you're watching this stream on the bed, in your car, in a matatu, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know whether you're watching this as you're eating. I don't know whether you're watching this on your phone as the other family members are watching the telly. I don't know. I'll only get to know what you're doing when you share it. So if the person who shared those photos, those videos, is already with the guy, then, and the lady hasn't come out to say, no, he's the worst person in the world. So at the end of the day, that's my opinion, guys. That's my opinion. El Gringo is saying Greenwood is a gem we lost to. It's the same case with Mendy. Yeah, same case. When you say, honestly, Greenwood is a big talent, don't hate this talent. Don't hate his talent. Hate him off the pitch. Yeah, as I said, to me, whatever happens on the pitch is very different to whatever happens off of it. Guys like me who are Christians, we may not approve some of the lifestyle that footballers have. And you know why I'm saying, and I keep saying, I haven't mentioned it on this stream, but I've mentioned it in other platforms. Most of us are hypocrites. Most of us are hypocrites. I'm a Christian. Some of you watching are Muslims. Others are Hindus. Everyone has their religion. There are some don'ts, there are do's and don'ts. For example, for Christians, having a rave, a night out is a sin. Footballers, how many footballers do it? For most Christians, smoking is a sin. How many players smoke? For most Christians, adultery, fornication is a sin. How many players do it? So we are judging one person for something they do, which is a sin. And anyone who's religious knows that there is no sin that's bigger than the other. A sin is a sin. So if you are to judge Greenwood for that, especially if you're a Christian, then judge all footballers for what they do off the pitch. They go out drinking, they hook up with ladies. We've seen footballers cheat on their wives. We've seen footballers go take other footballers' wives. You know how many cases, especially in the early 2000s, you've heard of a player sleeping with another player's wife, and they continued playing football. How is that less of a sin than what Greenwood did? We've had footballers fighting people in the clubs when they go out. So if we are going to judge footballers for what they do off the pitch, we better judge them for everything that they do wrong based on the morals. If they go out drinking, for example, Jack Grealish, we know that he drinks a lot. But what do people do? They make fun out of it. Why? Because they themselves drink. Humans tend to judge harshly for something that someone does and they themselves have not done or cannot do. And as I've asked, and as I've said, if the lady, the victim, is already with him and has given him two kids, they are still together, living in the same house, sleeping in the same bed. He went to France, she moved with him. So are we going to say it's juju? Are we going to say it's something else? No. And the matter of the fact is, at the end of the day, we only know what we were told. We only know what we saw online. It's more or less like perception. I'm sure you've seen that photo of a cameraman shooting something. So on one side, the guy is running. I think the guys were chasing each other. The foot looks like a knife. So then the news report that this guy was trying to murder the other guy. So to me, judge me all you want, but whatever the footballers do off the pitch, I care less. I care less for what they do off the pitch, honestly. The Mangdol, you say if Forest and Palace get relegated, Anderson and Wharton will be affordable. For one, I don't think a Forest will be relegated. I think they'll fight to stay because also I think they are signing Mateta. I saw some report that they want to sign Mateta, so they want to make changes. So, and even if Forest get relegated, they can still sell him for a huge fee. Huge fee. They can still go for 70 million. 70 million. Yeah. Kevin Vinks, hello there. Yeah, how are you doing? Yeah. El Gringo, you're saying that guy is still scoring for Marseille. Yeah, and the Marseille fans are okay with him because they care more of what he does on the pitch, not off of it. Not off of it. The Mangdoli are saying if he doesn't have disciplinary issues and he wants to come back, then I would take Greenwood in a heartbeat. I would personally, I will take him back. That's my personal opinion. You might not agree with it. You might not like me for saying it, but it's my opinion. Whatever they do off the pitch, it's none of our business as football fans. We didn't know them for what they do off the pitch. We knew them. We started knowing them because of what they did on the pitch. In fact, some footballers play football and we get their stories like they were serving or they were selling burgers. Some of them were drivers, some of them were teachers, some of them were mechanics. No, we've seen championship players who are also teachers, who are also lawyers. Some referees have professions outside refereeing the Premier League, the Champions League. They have professions. It's not like they train the whole week to be a referee. No, they don't go to the gym and then the whole day they keep reviewing matches. No, they also have professions. So we came to know Greenwood because of his footballing abilities. Then we came to know about his life later. God at Football 199 or 1999, you're saying, yo, hey, big up, big up, big up. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I believe it's the first time I'm seeing you also in the comment section. Welcome, as well as Toby Talks. Karibu sana. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so Mark, hello to you as well on TikTok. Good to see you. So yeah, so the monk doll guys might not agree with me. I've been called the R word many times for saying I want him back, to a point where I now said I will no longer tweet it. I will no longer post it on social media, because social media has been very, very toxic. It's like I said last time, the midweek debate. I said it's like you're with us or against us. And for me, as I've mentioned, if you live by certain morals, like drinking is wrong, then judge every player who drinks. Judge every one of them. We've had people who are against certain religions like Islam. We've had people who are really against Islam. We have footballers who are Islamic. For example, Ahmad. Ahmad is Muslim. So why are they not judging him for what he does off the pitch? We have players who are homosexuals. We have people who are really against homosexuality. I'm one of them. I don't know whether my video will be blocked for saying that, but that's me because I'm a Christian. I also have certain morals I live by, but I don't judge players who are homosexual. I haven't gone out to say, no, this guy has come out of the closet, he shouldn't play. No, that's what he does that off the pitch. He does that off the pitch. So when he comes on the pitch, I don't really care whether he's straight, he's gay, he's trans. I don't really care. So what Greenwood did off the pitch should not affect what he does on the pitch. And I don't like how United handled that situation. They should have handled it better. To me, in fact, they let Greenwood go because of the fan pressure, the media pressure. How many footballers have slept with their teammates' wives? We know them. We know footballers who have slept with a teammate's wife and they still go on to play. They still go on to play. Why haven't they been kicked out of their clubs? We know about Giggs. We know about Terry. We know about Ferdinand. We know about them. But that's okay. What Greenwood did is an abomination. I'm not saying that what he did is right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying what he did. I'm not saying he's right. Domestic violence has no place in the world. Trust me, I'm not defending him for what he did. I'm not. What he did was wrong. It shouldn't happen. No man should lay a hand on a woman. No woman should lay a hand on a man. That act should be given freely. It should be consented. No one should force, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman, no one should force it. I'm not saying what Greenwood did is right. All I'm saying is us judging him for it while we are letting other people with similar or mistakes that are not morally right, we let them off the hook. If someone is beating their wife, their girlfriend, we say that he should be banned from football. Then also someone who's sleeping with a teammate's wife should be banned from football. It's all about morals. Cheating is wrong. I'm sure you guys wouldn't condone your spouse cheating on you. But for some reason, it's like we say, GBV is bad, cheating is not. Both of them are not right. Hitting someone is physical pain and emotional pain. First physical, then it goes to trauma emotional. That is hitting someone, breaking their skin such that blood comes out, bruising, all that. Physical violence is both physically painful and emotionally painful. Cheating is emotionally painful and it ends up being physically painful. Because when you get stress, you start getting sick, ulcers, all that. So both of these have the same end result. So when we judge this one, GBV, we should also judge the other one harshly because we are using our morals to judge. We are using our morals to judge. That's my opinion. While the most affected person, let me start. I think Meditations, you had posted something before. No, I think that's your first comment. It's good to see you, Meditations, on TikTok. You're saying, while the most affected person, his wife, has forgiven him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And when I say that, I get booed for saying it. That's what you get for saying it. As I said, it's like your opinion doesn't count, it's mine. He's wrong, he's wrong. But to me, I'm saying yes, he is wrong off the pitch. On the pitch, he did nothing wrong. Off the pitch, he did. Similar to players who are sleeping with other players' wives, similar to players who've gone to a club, hit someone with a bottle or punched someone, similar to players who've caused an accident because of drunk driving. I'm a Christian. I'm religious. I'm sure some of you guys are religious. You don't condone drinking. Players drink. So we should also condemn them for doing that. There are people who are against certain religions. I've said it. There are people who don't like Muslims. We have Muslims playing football. We have guys who are against homosexuality. We have players who are homosexuals. But when they play, it's okay. So to me, if we decide to judge, let's judge everyone. But at the same time, now speaking as a Christian, we are told not to judge. We are told not to judge. We do. We fall. But anyway, back to football. Back to football, guys. We need to go back to football. El Gringo says, but if you take a look, mostly the black players are the ones that action is taken against. Yeah, there is also an aspect of racism, and it's what we call how can I call it? It has a word. It's like you do it without knowing it. It's like you do something without knowing you're doing something, and it happens. It happens. It happens with everyone. It happens with everyone. We, based on our biases, you judge someone. As I've said, we've seen players sleep with other players' wives. Nowadays, it's a joke. It's a joke. We've seen players who've punched fans in a club, who fought fans in a club. It's okay. But if we are going to judge Greenwood for that, and I will say it again and again and again, gender-based violence is wrong in all aspects. It shouldn't be part of our lives. Whether it's a man hitting a woman, whether it's a woman hitting a man, no, that's wrong. But what players do off the pitch, it's none of my business. I'm a football fan. I don't really care what they do off the pitch. I don't really care what they do off the pitch. The punishment on Greenwood of leaving the club was too much for him. I believe he also wanted to leave because the club didn't handle the situation well. If you look at how Arsenal handled, this player's name? The player that left recently, the midfielder. I'm starting to zone out on names again, guys. My weakness. Arsenal handled it quite well. They kept it under wraps. Of course, it wasn't right. But the way they handled it well. They said He's still our player until proven guilty. And I think the way Manchester United handled Anthony's, I think let me just change this to just chatting. I think the way Manchester United handled Anthony's case, because Anthony also had a case of the R as well as GBV, and they handled it well. They were like, yeah, he's still our player until he's proven guilty. But the way United handled it was like, ooh, after seeing those photos and stuff. Yes, they tried to protect him by not playing him, but what happened later, it wasn't good because those reports of him not also being in the dressing room, not going to Carrington, were not good. So I believe also Greenwood didn't want to stay at the club anymore. Will he want to come back? I don't think so. As much as United want Greenwood back, I don't think he would come back to England to play for England. I don't think Greenwood will accept that transfer. With also big clubs like Barcelona wanting him, he'd rather go to Barcelona. The other big clubs that want him, PSG want him. There was a rumor of Real Madrid. There was a rumor of Bayern. So given the choice, I don't think he would come back to United. Yeah, Thomas Partey. Yes. Thanks, Kevo. Thomas Partey and Wayne. Yeah. Look at how Arsenal handled it. They were like, yeah, he's still our player until proven guilty. The advantage that Partey has is the images didn't blow up online. The images didn't blow up online. Yeah. Mark, you're saying United should move on with the past players. True. Like Rashford coming back. There are reports that United want to bring him back. And then there are reports now stating that after those reports that United don't want him back, Barcelona are just trying to pull United's arm so that they pay much less. So if a player has left, let them leave. Hoyland as well. I'm glad that the club has said, no, you're not coming back. They are telling Napoli, give us the money because you guys are close to qualifying to Champions League. We reinvest that money elsewhere. Let them go. United have survived big players leaving. Cristiano left. United still won a title. Beckham left. United won titles. Roy Keane left. Jaap Stam left. Peter Schmeichel left. All those players left. Dwight York left. All those players left, and United still won titles. King Cantona left. United still won titles. So I don't get this aspect of let's keep hold of players. And I mentioned it. When was it? Is it during the big debate or one of the streams? I said, would I feel so much hurt if Bruno leaves? No. Is Bruno one of the best 10s, if not the best number 10s in the world? Yes, he is. But there's always a player who's better than someone. And we've seen it. You remember players who are in the Premier League, top players, Drogba. We now just see clips of him. Hazard. You remember Eden Hazard? He was one of the best players in the league. Chelsea still replaced him. Salah came in. Everyone forgot about the likes of Hazard. You know? Aguero. Man City replaced Aguero with who? Haaland. So there's always a player out there who will play, if not similar, but better than the one who was there before. There are always players who will come out and play better. In fact, I like what one of the athletes said. Johnson, he said, if you think I'm the fastest man in the world, I think was it Johnson who there's an athlete who said, if you think I'm the fastest man in the world, there's always someone who's faster than me. He doesn't train the same way I train. He probably doesn't have shoes. He's somewhere out there, either in a town, in a village, and he'll come and run faster than me. There's always someone like that. There's always someone who's better than you or the best person. There are guys who are rich. richer than Elon Musk, but we don't know about them. We don't know about them. When you say this is the most handsome guy or the most beautiful woman in the world, Miss Universe and all that, you'll go somewhere there in the village and you'll find a girl who's not having makeup, who's just all natural, and she'll look more beautiful than Miss Universe, who has all the makeup, who has toned down, gone to the gym, dieting, and all that. How many times have you seen gym bros being unable to lift something, and then someone from a construction site, a construction site, comes and just picks up the load? It's like nothing, you know. There's always someone who's better. So yeah, I agree with you, Mark. United should move on from ex players. El Gringo, you say, bro, there is also another gem who just vanished. Dele Alli, yeah. Dele Alli, similar case to other players we've seen. It comes to, sometimes we judge those players harshly, but we fail to understand also the background they come from. I listened to a Ravel Morrison podcast. He was on a podcast on YouTube. Can't remember the name. No, he was on I think Rio's podcast, and they read a message to him from Sir Alex Ferguson, and it was heartbreaking because Ravel Morrison was a good player. He was a player that was to come into United, replace Paul Scholes, and he was to be a generational player. And we judged him harshly by saying that he wanted money, he was proud, all that, failing to understand that they also come from backgrounds. Some players come from harsh backgrounds, and it affects their football. It affects their mentality. It affects their attitude. Dele Alli is one of them. The player's background also affects them. For example, you look at the best players in the world. Sorry, guys. The best players in the world, also the best players in the Premier League, they are not from England. They are immigrants. They are foreign players coming into play. You look at the backgrounds they come from, they have to work hard. For example, African players work really hard because they know I'm the guy who's being depended on at home. I'm the guy who's going to take my family out of poverty. So they work hard, they fight hard, they feel proud even if they come to a club like United and don't play games. They know at least they're going to get endorsements, they're going to get favors, and their family will be okay. Their family will get some status. You compare to now players who come from well-off places or come from places where they don't really need to work hard. Then what they'll do, once they get that big contract, it's like, it's just partying now. It's partying now. So you look at players who've actually been best players in the world, they have humble backgrounds. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of them. We know his story. Messi, we know his story. Yeah. Neymar, Kaka, the original Ronaldo. You look at all those players, look at their histories. They don't come from good places that when they get that big contract, they'll say, now I'm okay to go. No. We also have some players from the UK who don't come from good home neighborhoods. So it also affects them. Like these players, when they go home, they meet gangs, they meet bullies, they meet guys who will start affecting their life, mental health, and all that. So as much as we judge players harshly, we also need to understand where they come from. So Dele Alli, I feel sad for him. Mourinho at least tried to keep him on track, but it didn't go down well for him. It didn't go down well for him at all. At all. The club never supported, but supported Maguire on his assault on a police officer. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. If we are to judge players based on morals, let's judge everyone. Let's make sure everyone is on the stand. They are being judged for what they do outside football. We've also had reports of players going clubbing or taking a mansion, and they don't pay. They don't pay. They just leave. We've had players who've uh, taken a lady out, had good time. They don't compensate. So yeah, you remember that French squad? You remember that case? We've had players also who've been with underage girls, but they still played. They are still playing. Mm. Okay, so now to football. To football, I think we've digressed a bit. Toure, you are saying Barcelona are playing Manchester United a trick with Rashford. They do not want to pay their agreed fee. Yeah, they are pulling United's arm. United, for years and years and years haven't been a selling club. United have never been a selling club. United are not a club to sell for profit. And Barcelona are trying to pull United's arm to getting a good deal for Rashford. But to me, if they don't pay up, if Barcelona don't pay up, just call him back, sell him. I'm sure other clubs will want him. Rashford is still a good player, he's still an asset. The Turkish league has a lot of money nowadays because of TV rights and the way they remodel their league. The Turkish league has a lot of money. You may find a club like Galatasaray coming for him, paying the full fee. Italy as well. They might come for him. A club like Napoli, Juve, Inter, they might come for him. PSG have been wanting Rashford for a very long time. If they come for him, sell him. If they don't want to pay up the 26 million, then why do you keep asking? Just tell Barcelona, no, sort of. We are going to sell him elsewhere. Also, there is an option. He plays until his contract ends. He still has a year or so on his contract. Play him. Then take the hit. But don't sell on the cheap. No, don't. Don't. El Gringo is saying there's a time Pogba said Ravel Morrison is one of the best midfielders of his generation. Yes, Ravel was good. I watched a couple of his games in the under 21s, and when he got that debut, he was a good player. He was a really, really good player. And also we had players like Wilson. They were also good, but they fell off. Don't know what happened. The United Academy has been weird, if we are honest. They have very, very good players, then they sell them. Very good players, then they sell them. I don't know. I don't know what happens to the United Academy. I don't know what's up. Because these players, they get a chance in the first team and then they fall off. I don't know whether it's a pride element, it's a pressure element. How many academy players have we seen get debuts? Then after that, like Hannibal Medri. Hannibal Medri was a star in the academy. Came to the first team. I don't know what happened to him. No? So Adnan Januzaj. To me, Adnan Januzaj was better than Garnacho, if you are honest. Do you remember Adnan Januzaj? To me, he was better than Garnacho. He came in, scored a couple of goals, a couple of winners under Louis van Gaal. I don't know what happened. Fell off. Federico Makeda as well. Came into that Villa game, scored a fantastic goal. A few subs here and there, fell off. The United Academy, as much as United fans, we are proud of it. But how many stars have we produced? Have we seen United produce? Very few. You can't compare United's academy to Chelsea's. In fact, Man City's academy right now is one of the best in England. Look at the players that have come off or come out of City's academy. Arsenal also. Chelsea. Some of the best players in the world. But with United, it's one or two. It's one or two odd players. Because if we are honest, if we look at players like Paddy McNair to me was a player that I thought would be the next Rio Ferdinand. the next Johnny Evans. But what happened? He fell off. He fell off. So the United Academy, they need to do something. They need to do something. If the Mangdol is saying, if only we could go for Kenan Yildiz for depth, he's the only fantastic option. But in the summer, there are a lot of clubs that want him. Real Madrid, I think, PSG, they want him. But I would go for what's his name? I'd go for Diamonde, for example. Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund have good wingers. Under the radar, the players are just under the radar and they perform well. Right now, if I was to sign players, I'd go for those sort of players who have good performances, but they are not big. Like Ndia is a good player. Iman Ndia is a good player. The Everton player is good. He's good. There's also that player from Bournemouth. What's his name? There's that 19-year-old who plays for Bournemouth. What's his name? I'm forgetting that name. He's a young player and he's playing quite good. He's those kind of players under the radar. They'll play football. They don't care about the badge. They don't care about names. They just play football. Like Yildiz is one of them. Those players will just come in. They don't have those superstar names and they'll come and perform. And United used to do that at times. You remember when Ferguson went for Valencia, guys were like, Valencia? How? Valencia replacing Cristiano? No, that's a bad move. We should have gone for another player, blah, blah, blah. Valencia comes on, 25 assists in a season. Boom, just like that. And he played as a right back. He played as a right winger. He became captain from Wigan. Edwin van der Sar from Fulham. Not so big names, but they come in and make a change. From time to time, we can go for those marquee signings like Mbumo, Cunha. But look at Lamens, Dorgu. Those are the sort of names I'm saying. No one knew about Dorgu until United signed him. Let's be honest. Both you and I, guys, we didn't know about Dorgu until United went in for him. We didn't know about Lamens. We didn't know when we were discussing about who's going to replace Onana, who United need to sign to come into the club and play better than Onana. We didn't know about Lamens. We were talking about Martinez. We were talking about Donnarumma. We were saying bring back De Gea. We were saying bring back Henderson. Those are the names. We didn't know about Lamens, but look at Lamens right now. David De Gea, when United was signing David De Gea, he was just an upcoming star. Eventually, he became one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Top 3. So as much as United are going for those marquee signings, let's also see United go for those under the radar players that will come in and make a difference. Ahmad as well. Ahmad. Very few people knew about Ahmad. United have been going for those big names and end up not winning titles. But now you look at this team, those are good options. Those are really good options. Aiden Heaven, out of the blue. Out of the blue, Aiden Heaven for 1.5 million. Next season, he will be one of the biggest defenders, best defenders. You know? Yeah, even when United was signing Mazraoui wasn't among the best right backs in the world. He was just Mazraoui. We were like, oh, he was at Ajax, he went to Bayern. That's it. We only knew Mazraoui in terms of the name. But now he's at United, you're like, we miss Mazraoui, you know? So as much as we go for those marquee signings, let's also target. Like Ndia is a very good player. To me, Ndia is a very good player. I wish United could go for him. Because that guy can play left, he can play right, he can play 10, he can play forward. We need such kind of options. Just imagine we have Cunha starting. Sub of Cunha Fonjai. Krupi, yes, Krupi, that's the name. Junior Krupi. Look at Junior Krupi. He performs well. He scores good goals. He scored the equalizer 4-4 at United versus United. Junior Krupi is just that kind of a player who's under the radar. Then he becomes a star. You know? Kevin, you're saying, I don't know what happened to Diego Leon. I just want to see him getting at least 5 minutes. Yes, we keep forgetting about him, but to me, let's give him time. I believe we'll see Diego Leon next season. This team, this club, the way it wasn't in a right position, the best possible position to bring in young players. Because imagine the current players, the big names are under pressure to win games. And now you start bringing in young kids. For example, you saw how brutal guys were on the Fletcher twins, how brutal guys were on Mantato. Because they came in, they didn't perform as expected. If United were in a position where they are winning games, they are in cup competitions like Carabao Cup, FA Cup, then we could see players like Diego Leon coming in. For example, we've only had Sheshko playing. We can't bring in Chidobi from the academy to come and play as a sub. We'd rather play Zirkzee or Cunha or Mount. We've also seen Mount playing as a false nine, or Mbumo. Because the environment right now at the club is not ideal to bring in young players because there is a lot of pressure on this team to perform. I would rather United win a couple of games than start giving them, as you say, 5 minutes here and there. Aiden Heaven is a young player. He's not getting as much time. And we've seen how brutal the United fans were to him when he had those 2 mistakes that led to the 2 goals in consecutive matches. Len Yoro as well had a poor run of form. The United fans, we as fans, what did we say about Len Yoro? Now imagine bringing in Diego Leon, who's from a different country, a league that's not as competitive as the under-21s. The under-21s league is much more better than the league he was playing in. He's a young player. He needs to adapt to a new country, language as well. He needs to learn the language. He needs to settle down. He's young. Let's give him time. I'd prefer if he went out on loan. Like right now, then see him. Like Ahmad. Ahmad has been performing well because of loan deals. He's been at United for 5 years, 6 years, but he's performing like that because he went to Rangers, he went to Sunderland. Now he's a complete player. You can't say Ahmad is 23 years old. No. Yeah, Krupi, yes. Thanks the Monk Doll. Diamonde said he prefers Liverpool over United. He's over 100 million. Well, trust me, sometimes when United come calling, players change their minds. Sometimes players change their minds. Like Semenyo really wanted to come to United, but he was not convinced by Amorim and the United project. He wasn't. So sometimes when United come calling, players are like... And then the other thing you also have to ask yourself, are Liverpool right now in a good position? Liverpool are making the same mistakes Manchester United did when Sir Alex Ferguson left. They started spending crazy money and disrupting the team chemistry. For me, Liverpool should not have gone for any other player other than Ekitike. They shouldn't have gone for Isak. They shouldn't have gone for Vitz. They shouldn't have. They let go of what was his name? The guy who went to Bayern. Sorry, guys, I'm zoning out again. They let go of him. They let go of Sane. So they made wrong choices. That money they should have spent it on a new goalkeeper and defenders. Virgil van Dijk is aging. He's declining. They should have used that money to reinforce their defense, to reinforce their goalkeeping. But they made the wrong choice. Their attack was already okay. So bringing in Isak, Kitike, Florian Wirtz disrupted that team. Look at Salah right now. That's not how you treat one of your best players. A player who has won you a Champions League, who has won you a Premier League. You don't treat him like that. Can you imagine Cristiano at his prime before he went to Real Madrid, Manchester United treating him that way? That's not good. Or Rooney. That's not good. Liverpool haven't handled that situation well at all. At all. So if Diamonde prefers Liverpool, that's well and fine. But for me, I would say United is a big name. And I'm not saying that because I'm just a United fan. No, I'm saying even as a neutral fan, United is one of the biggest names in world football. Right now, every player who's going to be signed is guaranteed to play at least first team football, starting 11, especially in the midfield. Ugarte is leaving, Casemiro is leaving, possibly Bruno will leave. There's a huge possibility Bruno will leave. So you have three players who are leaving. United haven't replaced certain players like Eriksen. So you are guaranteed to play. You are guaranteed to play. So if you choose another team that's already struggling with stars on the bench, you come from a team that you're playing fast in football to a team that you're not guaranteed to be playing every week, even if it's subs. So such kind of things usually happen. For example, right now, uh, players might look at Arsenal and see, Eze Madueke on the bench. They want me as a winger. Should I go there? Will I get minutes? Also, Chelsea, similar problem. Players will start looking at Chelsea and say, they have 48 players. Where am I going to play? How am I going to play? When am I going to play? It's a good problem for the club to have. But now, on the other hand, the players will be like, no. I don't see myself getting minutes. So Diamone going to Liverpool. Now, imagine now they have Salah sitting on the bench. A player who's won them the UCL. Yeah, Luis Diaz. Thanks guys for reminding me. That I told you guys that's my weakness, remembering names. Diaz. I don't know why Liverpool sold Diaz. I don't know why they sold the players they sold this summer. I don't understand that decision at all. I don't. At least because mine my brain is letting me down. I've had a long day. Let's see, 24/25. They sold some players that I really didn't understand why they sold those players, to be honest. For example, they sold Diaz. They sold Kwanzaa. And Jarel Kwanzaa was a good defensive option for them. You know? I don't understand that decision. They sold Darwin Nunes. As much as Nunes was not scoring many goals, but he was a very good option off the bench. There are games that Nunes actually gave defenders problems. They sold him. Why? Then you go sign a player for 150 million to replace Nunes. Then he sits on the bench or is injured. Ekitike was a very good option for them. They go and buy Isak. So they have two starters. And Nunes was okay sitting on the bench. He wasn't complaining. He was okay. Poor decisions all over. So, yeah, guys, we've done 1 hour 20. Thanks for being live with me. It's been a good discussion. We hope and pray that Dorgu will have a good game, a good recovery, not good game. And yeah, Champions League is, I think the games have started. I also wanted to watch a couple of games. Let me confirm that the games have started. I also wanted to watch a couple of games. The Champions League. Let's see. Yeah, There is no Champions League today. Thought there was. No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, not today. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow, remember, as you've seen the slider, we have the midweek debate. I don't know why I keep calling it the big debate. The midweek debate, as usual, we'll have KC Reacts TV on here. And Toby Talks, I hope you're still live. You're still listening. It's tomorrow, yeah. Thanksgiving. So, Toby, yeah, let's have a chat on TikTok. Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to come onto your show and discuss United. So thanks a lot. Thanks to Kevin. Thanks to El Gringo, who says Bad Nunes was a monster in Benfica. He was also a monster in the Premier League. It's just that guys expected a lot from him, similar to what Victor Gyökeres. Guys have huge expectations for him, but to me, whenever Gyökeres is playing, Arsenal don't really know how to use him. Arsenal wanted a striker. Actually, if Arsenal had Sheshko and United had Victor Gyökeres, both of them would have had different seasons. Victor Gyökeres, the profile fits United. Sheshko, the profile fits Arsenal. Because Sheshko is very good in that sort of chaotic sort of setup. He's good. He will jump, he will elbow, he will do that. Gyökeres is more of, yes, he's a bully, but he's more of a Haaland type of player. Yeah, so thanks. Thanks a lot, guys. See you tomorrow for the midweek debate. Also, make sure you check out our TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, all over, especially YouTube, where we've currently hit 656 subscribers. We want to get to 1,000. So make sure you also head over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, as well as like the stream. So until tomorrow, guys, see ya. Have a nice evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are all over the world. Bye-bye.